Well, hello PPs, this is Mew, and I am going to play part 2 of Dramatical Murder today. So, last time where we left off, Aoba was just minding his own business, and then he was pulled into a crowd of people because a rhyme battle just started. And now we have this new character, Akushima, so let's see what he has to say. Also, I've made the game audio a little bit louder this time around because it was very quiet last time. If it's too loud now, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to speak loudly, and we'll see how it goes. Alright?
うるさいのが来ちゃいましたね。
Noisy man, okay, he has a
て
name.
めえらこんなとこで騒いでんじゃねえ。全員まとめて逮捕だ。
And I can see where that nickname is coming from now. The street disappears like smoke and the rhyme is suspended. The participants and the spectators escape in all directions. Akushima, also known as Noisy Man. He's a detective who abuses his authority. Wow, making me stutter. I'm so nervous around him. Oof. And does whatever he wants to. The number of victims who have been arrested or received abuse by this guy on false charges are countless. Fitting to his haggard appearance, he's called the god of death of the old resident district. Wow.
ここは退散ですね。青葉さんも早く。
はい。
なあ。バイバイ、青葉。
Bye bye.
待てこの野郎。逃げんなこら。クソが逮捕じゃ。
So much anger. I begin to run immediately so that I won't get caught by Akushima, who's just about to pop a blood vessel. I decided to continue to Aoyagi Street. Excuse me? I almost get hit by a motorbike when I turned at the corner while running. I quickly rolled onto the ground. Jeez, people are crazy in this town. I blankly look up at the bike. The man doesn't get off of it. His eyes are focused on me. When I see his eyes, for some reason, chills run through me. Yeah, me too. The man says nothing and speeds off on his bike again.
Oi!
Hey! I stand up in a hurry, but it's already too late. The motorbike makes a roaring sound, roar, and speeds down the street in the twinkling of an eye. That bastard! He almost caused a traffic accident, and he didn't even apologize for almost running someone over either. What a jerk. It wasn't an uncommon thing in this town, but I was still angry. I shudder when I think that I could have been run over by that man.
青葉、大丈夫か。
ああ、ギリギリセーフ。危なかったけど。
無事でよかった。
Cute.
本当にな。
I'm calmed by Ren's concerned words. Yeah, me too actually, very calming. And my anger fades. Well, since I was safe, it should be fine. I change my mood and begin to walk home. See, I wish I had an all-mate. 2020, make all mates come true. When I enter the residential area and walk a bit further, I see my familiar house.
ただいま。
Oh, cute house. I'm just now noticing the details about it. Like the little frog sculptures on the right side. I think those are frogs. They're cute.
いい加減にせえよこのバカ孫
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for existing. A thunder shakes my eardrums as soon as I open the door. My ears ring.
うるさー当たり前だようるさく聞こえるように怒鳴ってんだから
The real source of the thunder. Granny stands at the platform of the entrance, snorting and scowling at me. I've always wondered, where does she get that loud voice from? It's so mysterious, I can't help it.
なんだよ、何怒ってんだよ。
It's not really mysterious, Alba, she's just mad at you.
そりゃ怒るわ鍵だよ鍵
鍵？
仕事に行くときは玄関の鍵閉めてけって何度言ったらわかるんだい
Useless grandson.
ああ、そっか、ごめん。
When I woke up today, I was almost late to my part-time job, so I panicked and flew out of the house.
ごめんじゃないよまったくなんだってこんな記憶力の悪い子に育っちまったんだろうね
しょうがないだろ。忘れてたんだよ。
どうせまた寝坊して飛び出してったんだろうほん 当に23にもなってどうしようもない孫だね。
It's a
悲し
little
く
bit
て
too
涙
close
が
to
出そう
home
だ
right
よ。
now.
だから
All
ご
my
めんって言って
23
んだ
years
ろ。
old useless
人間
sons
うっ
and
かりすること
daughters
ぐらい
and
誰でもあるだろう
kids
が
of。people out there. I feel you. It's fine. We're gonna be fine.
お前はうっかりの世界選手権にでも出ようってのかい。これで何度目だよ。
ね、あ、6回
本当に。
Well, is he really that forgetful if he can actually remember the number of times that he's been forgetful? Something to think about. Granny began trembling with anger. A blue vein is clearly visible on her forehead. This could be getting dangerous. Granny could faint if too much blood goes to her head, so this isn't a joke.
わかったわかった。明日から気をつける。だからもう怒鳴るなよ。
その言葉も何度目だろうね。お前がそんなんじゃこっちもおちおちしねやしないよ。
Don't talk about dying. Grandma lets out a rough snort and goes back towards the kitchen while making loud footsteps.
ほら、とっとと入りな。
It seemed she'd settled down for a while anyway. Relieved, I take off my shoes and enter the hallway. Shouting happens every day like this, but our relationship isn't that bad. It's rather good, actually. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Granny's shouting is the proof that she's fine. If her shouting disappeared one day, I'd feel lonely. I feel thankful to Granny for raising me by herself, and I also respect her. It would be embarrassing to tell her, so I won't. Alright. Don't show emotions. It's embarrassing. Apparently. In the kitchen, Granny moved something that was just stir-fried in the frying pan to a plate. I wash my hands by the sink, pick out chopsticks from a shelf, and arrange them on the table. My parents were also living together with us, but they were free spirits by nature and were never in the house. When the year passed and I'd think they'll never return, they would suddenly come back and disappear again. That was the case ever since I was small, so living together with just Granny became everyday life for me. That's why I was unexpectedly calm even if my parents didn't come home. It's really thanks to Granny. Even though I've made her worry about me over many things, I want to cherish the time I'm living with Granny. Even without any special luxuries, living like this is enough.
さて、いただこうかね。
Let's eat! Somen noodles, tuna, stir-fried shiitake mushrooms, and boiled greens, deep-fried fish, and miso soup are all lined up on the table, man. Give me some! I took a seat with Granny and put both hands together.
いただきます。
Thank you for the
い
food.
ただきます。わーちゃんうまい。
そうかい。
Being chased by the police made me hungry, so Granny's homemade cooking really hits the spot. While I scarf down my food, a sharp pain runs through my head. Ah, it came, the usual
えい
pain.
ってって。
いつものかい。食後に薬飲むのを忘れるんじゃないよ。
うん。
A long time ago, when I did stupid stuff and got hospitalized, you still do stupid stuff, boy, but it's fine. The headaches became very frequent. This was the second time today. I had many things inspected in the hospital, but they said the cause was unknown. Since then, I've taken a medicine Granny prescribed to me. Granny has a medical license, and she examines old people from the neighborhood and prescribes medicine. Being safer than an unskilled doctor, who takes only lots of money, she has a bit of reputation in the neighborhood. Other medicines are useless, but when I take Granny's medicine, the headaches always stop quickly. That's a sure reason to be able to call her skilled.
ごちそうさま。
When I finish eating, I take the medicine and after I clear off the tableware, I go up the second floor. I get excited every time I see the word clear. Ugh, so excited. I enter my room and take Ren, who's in sleep mode, out of my bag and start him up. My head still hurts. I think about getting some fresh air and head out to the veranda. I step out on the veranda and lean on the handrail. The slightly cool wind feels comfortable. When I let out a small breath and look up to the sky, only the shadows of the folded buildings reflect in my field of view. The scenery wasn't like this in the past. It was more beautiful. This island. Midorijima floats in the remote sea southwest of the Japanese island, Honshu. The selling points of the island are the blue sea, white sands, and rich green foliage, or so they were. Those are all stories from the past. Now, on the east side, Platinum Jail occupies approximately a one-third of the island in a lordly manner. Because Platinum Jail and the old resident district are cut off with a huge wall, we can't see inside it from the side. I've seen the representative of Toei Inc., the company that built Platinum Jail, on TV and network several times. Apparently, when I was a kid, Toei Inc. required eviction of the inhabitants during the development of the island. However, they were promised luxurious houses and lots of money, so most of the inhabitants left the island depending on negotiations. But still, there were some stubborn inhabitants who wouldn't go away. We're like that too. No matter how good the conditions they were offered, they couldn't abandon their hometown where they were born and raised. They kept ignoring the eviction demand again and again. After a while, Toei's side said no more. They began to give up, and the reason was officially because they didn't want coercion. But, in fact, they had abandoned the remaining inhabitants. If you don't want to accept negotiations, so be it. Live or die, it's up to you. And then, Toei dealt his next hand. Saying that it was maintenance for the island, the supply lines of water service, gas, and goods were narrowed rapidly, and the surviving inhabitants were driven away to the present old resident district as a result. The once beautiful Midorijima was ruined. No matter how anyone describes it, a country cannot allow such tyranny. The inhabitants who believed in that appealed to the mainland, wanting them to do something. But since nothing has changed even now, it was useless to hope for better. About 3 years ago, when going from the old resident district to the mainland, you had to obtain the permission of the administration bureau, which belonged to Toei. In other words, the inhabitants of the old resident district can step out of the island without the permission of Toei. Such permission is never granted. Never. It's Toei's way of saying that the people who rejected the evictions were wrong. He sounds like a great guy. As I was staring out into space, something makes a sound by my feet.
アバ、今日メールからダウンロードしたデータだが、どうする？
It's not a something, it's a someone.
ダウンロード？
I was leaning on the handrail, but Ren's words startled me and made me stand up straight. That's right, I completely forgot. It was when the brats came into the shop today. Before I knew it, a download complete screen had popped up. Was it?
そのデータウイルスは入ってなかったのか？
検出されていない。
中身は？
プレイヤーがキャラクターを操ることで移動、情報収集を行い、敵キャラクターと戦って経験値を取得し、レベルを上げるタイプのゲームだ。
Sounds like most games, really.
ああ、RPG ね。有料なのか？
That's always my first question with games as well. Do I have to pay? Yes. Goodbye.
有料ではない。
へえ。ってことは悪ガキどものせいでうっかり購入したってわけじゃないのか。
不明だ。
ま、変なのじゃないならやってもいいかもな。暇つぶしに。
Why not?
起動するか。
What could go wrong?
頼む。
了解。
I take Ren in my arms, return to the room, and sit on my bed. Help me. Someone, please, save me. Someone, free me. From here.
ずいぶんレトロな画面だな。
I know, right? Kyo now and Mio's generation have probably never seen anything like this. Even I haven't seen this type of an old game anywhere else but on video sites. After the message from the princess was over, a title logo appeared. Silent Ode. It looks great. It's so old, it's almost strangely refreshing. While the odd feeling rises inside of me, I push start. I kinda dig it. I would play. Sure, why not? Looks cute. And kind of boring. No, man, go for the chest. Okay. Whoop. Is that it? Did he die? Game over? To be continued. Wow, that was exciting.
続きもんなのかこれ。定期的に配信されてくるとか？
そのようだ。
なるほどね。まさしく暇つぶしにはもってこいって感じの短さだな。
I guess so. Dramatical Murder is not one of those games. I don't know if it was entertaining or not, but if a sequel comes out, I might play it again. As soon as I closed the game screen, I yawned. Yawn. I was so focused on the game, I didn't realize how tired I was.
そろそろ寝る準備でもしますかねっと。
I closed the window and curtain to the veranda and leave my room to go to the washroom. The next day. I go to work at Haybon as always and look after the shop from behind the counter. Ow, ow, ow! I get my usual headache and massage the inner corners of my eyes with my index finger and thumb. My head's felt heavy ever since this morning. Even after I took my medicine after breakfast. Did I catch a cold?
青葉くん、ちょっと配達をお願いしたいんですけど。
Yay, an adventure! Rattling noises come from the back of the store, as well as Hagesan's voice.
あ、手伝います。
My legs wobble when I try to stand up. I instantly push my hand onto the counter.
青葉くん、大丈夫ですか？
すいません。ちょっと立ちくらみが。
座っててください。こっちは大丈夫ですよ。
Strong man.
どうしました？
Forget about Kojaku. This guy is the real hot man.
いえ、すげえな
Can
と
I
思って。
romance him?
いやいや、そんな。
お掃除、お掃除。
Hagesan's all-mate, Bunjin-kun, comes up and whirls around him.
あ、凡人くん、奥の方お願いします。
奥。
How boring to have an all-mate that just actually looks like a robot. No offense. Bunjin-kun returns to the back of the shop.
そうそう、それでですね、この品物の配達をお願いでき
Sure,
ます
it's
か？
not like I was dying like 2 seconds ago. Hagesan takes a small paper bag out of his pocket.
昨日の夜中にお客さんから注文が来てたんですけど、速達指定なんです。
When I see the slip of the paper bag, I notice that the address is in the East District like we are. It would be faster to deliver this directly.
もうすぐ仕入れ先の業者さんが来るから、私は店を離れることができなくて、すみません。
大丈夫ですよ。すぐ行ってきます。
お願いします。
Bye. Hagesan smiles and walks towards the stairs to continue. No, there's no such word as continue in this sentence. To the basement. My head still feels heavy, but it's my job. I'll have to try my best. I tap my forehead lightly, bump, get myself together, and let out a short breath. I take my bag close to me with pen in it, and leave the shop with the paper bag. Whew. Reading is difficult.
この道入った方が早いんだっけ？
ああ、
I walk through Aoyagi Street while having Ren navigate. In this quiet road between buildings, a familiar tag art is drawn here and there on the walls. Oh, Benishigure! Kojaku's team! RIP teams claimed their territory by drawing their tag art. This area was Kojaku's team's territory. The size of Kojaku's team is not very big. Well, Aoba, don't be mean. Rather, not very many are aware. Very many? Can you say that? We'll let it slide. Rather, not very many are aware of Kojaku participating in RIB. He's popular among women, and therefore irritates many guys. He fights very often, but he has never lost. Before even he himself was aware, many male fans followed him because of his consecutive victories, and a team was formed just like that. Still, because he's taking care of them without being cruel, I think his character must also appeal to them. If you rely on him, you You can't really complain. Lots of team members gather because they adore the leader and they come to resemble the leader somehow. Maybe because of that, here in Benishigure's territory, there are a lot of men wearing Japanese clothes without a hakama. If you just glance at them, they may look evil, but they're all good guys. They help old ladies with heavy luggage or look for a missing child's parents. That's why Benishigure's popularity is pretty high in the old resident district. That's also thanks to Kojaku. Perhaps.
Yo, Alba.
うっす。
I exchange a greeting with a member I'm acquainted with. Some other members are talking happily with a police officer. The old resident district's police aren't the most honest bunch of people, but depending on money or their mood, they may mingle with the islanders. Oh geez, what a treat. Some ripsters use them to gain information or have things overlooked. Well, whatever suits them. As they continue walking down the street, I hear an awfully high-spirited voice come from in front of me. A group of 3 with 1 man and 2 women walk towards me, the women snuggling up to the men and pushing and shoving while walking.
もうゴータクさんかな。
Silly Kojaku.
でもそういうところも好き。
Ah, so do I. The bastard. Love him. Wish I didn't. I knew it. Of course, the guy walking sandwiched between the 2 women is Kojaku. I didn't want to bump into him in this situation. I want to avoid them, but they keep coming closer and I have no choice.
お、青葉じゃねえか。
おっす。
Hello. Kojaku's face draws into a cheerful smile.
青葉、レンは元気か？
Flying next to Kojaku is his all-mate, Benny. Ren's face peeps out of the bag.
ここにいる。
Oh, he loves him.
おお、そうか。
あら、こちらゴータクさんのお友達？
Sure is. I know everything about him. You don't. The woman glances at me with judging eyes.
ああ、幼馴染だ。
あら、そうなの。この方が。
You got a problem with me? Well then, I'm sorry that the amazing Kojaku's childhood friend doesn't measure up to the man himself. Even though we call ourselves childhood friends, it's not like we were always together when we were small. Originally, Kojaku was from the mainland and came to this island with his mother. He was on the island for about 3-4 years and then returned to the mainland with his mother again. During that time was a little vacant period, and about 3 years ago, Kojaku suddenly came back alone. I was surprised when he came back because he had become quite sturdy, but the faces and gestures he made when he laughed and the way he spoke hadn't changed at all. Then we started to hang out together again, and he often comes to visit my home to eat Granny's homemade cooking. And to see you, do you not realize that he... Okay.
なんだよ。どうしたお前。
Oh, nothing. I'm just really jealous of the women you hang out with, but you know, no big deal.
何が？
具合悪そうじゃねえか。
別になんともねえけど。
He can tell.
そうか？ならいいけどよ。
He's not buying it. Kojaku can see right through you, blue boy. I act calm, but deep down I'm actually surprised. I definitely still have a small headache. Do I really look that sick?
これから配達か？
そう。誰かさんと違ってな。
So salty! The saltiness is incredible. You need some water? I think you do. When I say this sarcastically, the women standing on both sides react before Kojaku can.
あ、別にゴータクさんは遊んでるんじゃないのよ。
Oh, sure.
そうよ。今だってお仕事の途中で送ってくれてるだけなんだから。
Whatever you say.
まあそう言うなよ。確かにこんなに可愛いお嬢さん方と一緒じゃ仕事も手につかねえからな。
Incredible.
ゴータクさんったら。
Kojaku. Every single time when he says things like that, wouldn't anyone else just be completely on edge?
末前食わんは男の恥だよな。
Ew. I don't want to hear that from a bird.
その通り。女はこの世の宝だ。柔らかいし優しいし男を包み込んでくれる。だから大切にするのが男の義務ってもんだ。そうだろう？
I want to say so many things. I'll just shut up for now. Kojaku puts his arms around the women's shoulders.
う死んでもいい。
I'm starting to
そ
feel
れ
like
じゃ
Aoba
俺
now.
そろそろ行くわ。
You know what? He had a point this whole time. I'm salty too now.
あら、ちょっと待って。ねえってば。
As I stand completely disgusted and also completely ready to leave, one woman calls out to me.
ここ。ほらやっぱりゴミがついてる。
Yeah, the dirt is you. The woman's skinny fingers reach out and lightly dust the color of my jacket.
ああ、どうも。
さすがだな。気の利く女は好きだぜ。
Oh, Kojaku, do you like women by any chance? Could you tell me? I didn't catch that. I'm not sure.
あら、
The woman who is happy about being praised by Kojaku suddenly looks at me as if she realizes something.
あなたよく見たら髪が長いのね。
I sure do. And we are going to stop here because soon enough there will be our first decision making. And as I said in the last part, I haven't picked yet whose route I want to play. So it's really up to whoever is watching, which might be nobody, but I'm just gonna try here and ask you, any of you, to just tell me whose route you would like me to play. We have 4 choices, so it can be Kojaku, Mink, Noise, or Clear. Now, I know it's a bit difficult because we've literally only seen Kojaku so far, you know, I don't want to influence the choice by how happy I have been to see Kojaku this whole time. But you know what? I'm just gonna say it like just a short opinion on all of these 4 characters. Kojaku, as far as I'm concerned, makes the best boyfriend for Aoba. Mink has the most serious and raw route. It's not lovey-dovey, it's not cute or funny, it's just serious stuff, so, you know, some people are into that. Noise, wow, Noise has such an interesting character development, I'll say that. And Clear is just lovable in every way. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Clear. I mean, if you don't like Clear, are you okay? Are you okay? So that's that. Tell me whose route you would like me to play, because soon we're gonna start making decisions in this game. And that's it for now. So see you next time. Bye!